What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I want to talk about both silver and gold and how to properly store them and the difference between different types of storage tubes. But we also have to talk about another major Federal Reserve update because the meeting starts today and ends tomorrow. So I have a couple of expectations, some things that we should expect. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. You only have 2 days left to get the limited edition Lucky Line. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts, and a whole lot more. And of course, go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. If you refer one friend by midnight tonight, they will give you 10 free stocks for the referral. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Everything is linked in the description. So today is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. The current spot price of silver as I'm filming the video is $24.73. It's down 32 cents or down 1.28%. Nice red day on silver. Spot price of gold is $19.1870, down $32.60 or down 1.67%. A nice red day on gold as well. And of course, the gold to silver ratio is in the 77 to 78 to 1 range. But of course, that's as I'm filming the video at like 10 o'clock in the morning, not as I'm editing, posting, or as you're watching. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking quite a bit about silver, quite a bit about gold, coins, rounds, and bars, and how to properly store them. You can see I have a nice little selection on display today. Now, we're going to get into how to properly store different types of coins, rounds, and bars a little bit later in the video, because before we get into the money, I think it's important to first talk about the currency and more specifically, what in the world is going on with the Federal Reserve's 2-day meeting beginning today, ending tomorrow, and what we should expect. Now, just in advance, let me just tell everybody that I am going to be talking about the difference between generic tubes, mint tubes, and airtight tubes, as well as talking about different ways to store coins, rounds, and bars. So if anybody's interested in getting those tubes, if you need any, I will leave the Amazon affiliate links in the description. I'm removing all Amazon affiliate links from the description of my video at the end of this month, so you only have the next 2 or 3 weeks to use those links if you need any of those tubes. So anyway, moving forward. If you were not aware, the crucial Federal Reserve meeting begins today. This is the long-awaited ending of the taper, which means the reduction of bond buying, which finally brings us to raising rates. This is what we've been talking about for months, and it's finally happening this week. So first things first, we're not going to know anything until tomorrow, once this meeting finally comes to an end. But there are some rumors floating around out there that we're going to get rug pulled by the Federal Reserve, raising rates in larger increments than originally planned. Now, just friendly reminder, anytime somebody starts a sentence with, there are rumors that blank, you should probably ignore them. I pretty much always ignore them. The reason I bring them up is because this is something that I actually believed at one point. Not the rumor, but I believed that we were possibly going to get rug pulled. Now, up until the most recent inflation report, which came out just last week, I also thought that there was a likely scenario that we would get rug pulled. And it's definitely still possible, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I say if we were going to get rug pulled, it probably would have already happened at this point. And by that I mean, it probably would have been earlier. There probably would have been emergency action that had to get taken before this meeting right here. I'm pretty sure this is part of the game plan. I'm pretty sure this is part of the strategy, which we'll get into in a moment. But I had said back in January that if the next 2 inflation reports are bad, the Federal Reserve is probably going to have to step in and take action sooner. That was before the January inflation report was released in February. When we got that report, we had learned that inflation had gone up from 7% to 7.5%. And then this month, in March, we got the February inflation report and learned that inflation had gone up even more from 7.5% to now 7.9%. But the release of the most recent inflation report, which was just last week, and now we have the Federal Reserve meeting starting today, there's really only a 5 or a 6 day difference between those two key dates. And I started saying last week, it's too close together. I don't think the Federal Reserve is going to step in at this point. But anyway, I think it's also important to point out that the Fed always tries to remain as predictable as possible to avoid shocking the market at all costs. That's not what they want to do. So personally, I'm expecting this meeting to end tomorrow with Jerome Powell coming out and restating pretty much what we already know, which is that they're sticking to the game plan and they're going to be raising rates with a 25 basis point hike. So that's what we should expect to hear tomorrow. As for the comments made by the Fed to go along with it, we'll probably hear that at the moment inflation still remains persistent and that the war in Ukraine is likely going to drive up gas prices even more. I'm sure we'll be given somewhat of a heads up regarding the next inflation report, which doesn't come out for another month. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they start kind of setting up, saying, hey, don't be too alarmed if the next report comes out and inflation's 8%, 8.5%, 9%, 10%. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they already start to build in something like that. And also, 2 weeks ago, when Jerome Powell testified before Congress, he had mentioned that we may need to increase what we consider the neutral inflation point, meaning typically we see 2% inflation as the standard. But with everything we're currently dealing with right now, we might start considering 2.5% or 3% as normal, at least for now. I'm sure we'll hear something regarding that tomorrow, but time will soon tell. And now finally, before we get into how to properly store your silver and gold, I just want to toss out how we can probably expect the stock market to react tomorrow. Honestly, when it comes to inflation, I believe we're already at peak fear. I think all of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the fact that rates will be going up, and the small possibility of a rug pull have all already been priced in. So I can't possibly imagine the market dramatically falling over this when rates officially do get hiked up. I'm pretty sure it's already been priced in at this point, so in my opinion, if you're sitting around waiting for the market to crash this week further than it's already gone down, you may be disappointed. I also thought it was worth mentioning that as of yesterday, the NASDAQ is down 20% from recent highs, which means we're now technically in a NASDAQ bear market. When we're down 20%, that's what a bear market is. That was yesterday though. Today opened up pretty green. Again, filming this video at 10 o'clock in the morning, but let's take a quick look at how the stock market is reacting today so far. We have the S&P 500 up 0.88%. We have the Dow Jones up 0.65%. And we have the NASDAQ up 1.19%. Green across the board. A very, very, very green day. Not a too strong of a green day, but a green day nonetheless. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the rest of the week plays out. Again, for me, it's only Tuesday morning. The Federal Reserve's meeting begins today. It doesn't end till tomorrow. Will we stay green? Will we fall into the red? God only knows what we're going to see, especially throughout the course of just today alone. And now, really quick, before we move on to the silver and the gold, since we're already on the topic of stocks, make sure to go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Usually it's 2. They bumped it up to 5 just for the next couple of days, so capitalize on that while you can. Make sure to refer one friend before midnight tonight. It's the last day to capitalize on this promo. If you refer one friend, Webull is going to give you 10 free stocks for the referral. It's part of their advertising budget. Rather than wasting a whole bunch of currency on billboards and TV commercials, they reward the users for helping them build their app with them. You only have until midnight, so please move fast. And if you refer 3 friends by the end of the month, they will give you a spin on the Webull wheel, which guarantees you at least 1 free share of Apple, with the chance of winning 2, 3, 5, 7, maybe even 10 free shares of Apple. Don't pass up on an opportunity. If you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway. Sell them. Congratulations. Now you have the cash to go get you some silver and gold if you want. Webull link in the description. Time is running out. And now, moving away from all of that, moving away from the stocks, moving away from the Federal Reserve, moving away from inflation, moving away from the possibility of a rug pull and what we can expect from this meeting right here, let's now finally get into the silver and the gold. As you can see on display, nice little selection. As I said before, we have some miscellaneous coins up there at the top. Type 1, Type 2, Silver Eagle, a Maple Leaf, a Kangaroo. We have the Creatures of the North right here. Some more miscellaneous coins, some miscellaneous bars. We have the 25th and the 30th anniversary Canadian Silver Maple Leaf. Some beautiful coins. And then, of course, some fractional gold. We have a 10th ounce Krugerrand, Philharmonic, Eagle, Maple, Britannia, and then a 1/4 ounce Philharmonic. So what I wanted to talk about today when it comes to silver and gold is how to properly store them. I'm not talking about what safe to use. I'm pretty sure most of us have a safe. There are some people out there who don't believe in a safe. They think a safe is kind of like a way of telling a burglar, hey, look, I have something valuable in here. I personally don't align with that way of thinking, but I can respect it. I understand where they're coming from. We're not talking about safes, though. We're going to be talking about how to use different storage tubes and what storage tubes are the most effective for different types of coins, different types of rounds, different types of bars. So rather than me just reiterating today what I already said yesterday, which you don't even know about because last night I filmed a quick little video. Actually, it's not that quick. I went into as much detail as I possibly could regarding 3 different types of tubes, talking about the pros, the cons, the differences, the prices. Again, if you need generic tubes for generic rounds, if you need mint tubes for government minted coins, or if you need airtights for higher premium collectible coins, I will leave the Amazon affiliate links in the description. They're going to be completely removed at the end of the month, so use them while you can. Some of them are actually on sale. So without any further ado, let's roll the clip that I filmed yesterday talking about different types of tubes. Okay, so I am filming this section of the video on Monday. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be coming out on Tuesday, which means this part was filmed yesterday. Not that that matters. Regardless, what we have here on display, you can see 3 different types of storage tubes for 3 different types of silver, depending on what you're stacking. If you're using storage tubes or if you're planning on using storage tubes, there's a different route to take depending on what you're stacking. So what we have right here on the left would be an airtight tube full of airtight capsules. Now you can see right here, bunch of little silver rounds. I think these are the rounds. Yep, the rounds. Bunch of silver rounds right here. Now, right off the bat, I just want to let everybody know that it was actually a rookie mistake of mine to store my silver rounds in airtight capsules and tubes. I didn't realize that it's completely unnecessary. So if you're watching this video right now and if you're stacking just basic generic secondary market silver rounds or silver bars, you don't need to capsulate them in any way, shape, or form. Completely unnecessary. What the airtights are designed for are to protect the face of a coin or a round as best you can. It's airtight. It's called airtight for a reason. It prevents whatever is in the atmosphere from touching the face of the coin, which could prevent it from tarnishing. It can prevent moisture in the air from touching the face of the coin. It can prevent different chemicals from touching the face of the coin. And not only is it protected that way, but it has double the airtight protection by putting each airtight capsule inside of an airtight tube. So it's just multiple extra layers of protection. It's not for the basic generic secondary market silver rounds. Therefore, higher premium coins, collectible coins, more expensive coins, rare coins, I wouldn't necessarily say numismatic coins, but something that carries a higher premium, something that you're going to want or need to keep in as pristine condition as humanly possible. That's what the airtight tubes and capsules are for. Now, like I said, it was a rookie mistake to put the generic rounds in these, but I have another airtight over here, a smaller one for my fractional gold coins. I have other fractional pieces of gold, but I put one of each in an airtight capsule, and so far I'm keeping them in this airtight tube. So if anybody's interested in airtight tubes and capsules, I will leave a link in the description. Each one is about $20, but keep in mind you get the tube and 20 different capsules. Now, if memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure the one that I'm going to be linking are size H40. So before you order anything, before you buy anything, make sure you do at least a quick Google search to make sure you're getting the right size. H40, I believe, now I could be wrong here, last time I bought airtights for silver was early 2018, but if memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure the H40s are the size that would fit American Silver Eagles, which have a slightly larger diameter than a maple leaf or a typical generic round. For maple leafs and generic rounds, I'm pretty sure the size would either be H38 or H39. I don't remember exactly, so you're going to have to do a little bit of research on your own. It should just take a quick Google search, but if you want to get the airtight capsules, I will leave a link in the description. H40s, one airtight tube with 20 airtight capsules, about $20, give or take. For the higher premium coins out there, I would say it's absolutely worth it, but for generic silver rounds, completely unnecessary. The one we have in the center, this right here, would be a mint tube. Now, ordinarily, you can actually get these for free. If you're ordering directly from the mint, or if you're ordering from any of the online precious metal dealing websites, potentially from your local coin shop as well, if you buy 20 coins at a time, or I guess 25 depending on the coin. Maple leafs, for example, mint tubes for maple leafs carry 25 rather than 20. But the Silver Eagle, which is what this mint tube right here is for, holds 20 Silver Eagles. So if you were to order 20 at a time or more, you should get them in tubes like that, which isn't that big of a surprise right now. With the spot price of silver, premium included, if you're ordering 20 Silver Eagles or 20 troy ounces of silver, period, that's going to run you over $500. The least they can do is throw in a little mint tube. So if you're ordering 20 at a time, you can get them for free. But if you're somebody like me and you would rather just order cheap mint tubes and fill them up on your own, which is what I had been doing for years and years and years. I personally am not stacking Silver Eagles anymore just because the premiums have gotten way too wacky, and rather than sitting around complaining about it, I decided to move on to different types of silver to stack, lower premium silver. So if you want to get a mint tube for Silver Eagles, this one right here, you can actually get a 5-pack, and I will leave a link to that in the description as well. Normally the 5-pack is about $20, but right now I just noticed today 20% off, which means $16 for the 5-pack rather than $20 for the 5-pack. So if you're looking for mint tubes, they're currently on sale. The link will be in the description. But in my opinion, this is the best way to go about storing your Silver Eagles or just storing your government minted coins. You can go for the Canadian Maple Leafs. They have mint tubes for Britannias. They got mint tubes for absolutely everything. I would say that's the best way to go because I'll actually show you this right here. You gotta almost pry off the top. It doesn't come off all that easily, but you can actually see how thick these tubes are. Super protective. You can actually slam one of these on the ground and your coins are just they're gonna be just fine. I wouldn't recommend doing that, although I would recommend labeling your mint tubes, like you can see right here. Obviously they're Silver Eagles. I could tell just from the top this is a tube for Silver Eagles, but these are the cull or damaged ones. And I guess you can tell just by looking at the side right there. You can see they're all discolored, or some of them are discolored or tarnished or whatever the case may be. But I would label them. That way you can tell. If you're in a hurry, if you need to grab and go, you can tell which ones are the culls, which ones are the uncirculated. That's what I would recommend doing. And the mint tubes are fantastic, regardless of what type of mint tube for what type of coin. They're incredible, super protective, not airtight, but for your everyday Silver Eagles or Maple Leafs or whatever it is that you're stacking, they'll be perfectly fine. And now finally, the third type of storage tube. These right here. These are not the highest quality, but in my opinion, that's perfectly fine. They don't need to be the highest quality because I didn't get them for ultra protection. I got them just simply for storage, just for really just organizational purposes. This is just a generic tube for generic rounds. You can tell a bunch of generic little silver rounds in there. These do not fit Silver Eagles. It's slightly too small, but they're perfect for generic rounds, which I guess technically means they'd be perfect for Maple Leafs as well. And I just remembered when I was talking about the airtights before, when I said H40 are for Silver Eagles, I'm pretty sure H39s are for generic rounds and H38s are for Maple Leafs. Again, I could be wrong, but talking about how Maple Leafs would fit in here just reminded me. Anyway, these are simple little generic tubes for simple generic rounds. I believe they're the best, and like I said before, they're not the highest quality, and you were probably able to tell. I could pop the top off without any effort at all. In fact, you can actually pop the top off by mistake. If you're gonna grab and go and you just grab it like this and you try to pick it up and walk out the door, very easily pops right off and then your rounds go all over the place. So I would recommend, if you're gonna get these, make sure you tape them shut. Especially if you're somebody that's not like me, constantly, I'm constantly pulling this out of the safe just so I can show off the different rounds and videos and whatnot. So assuming that you're not someone like me, assuming that you're somebody that just is going to put them in the tubes, stick them in the safe, and probably never really need to pop them open and sort through them unless you're going to go to sell, I would recommend taping them shut, because the last thing you want is your silver rounds going all over the place. So if you want to get generic tubes for generic silver rounds, you can go and get yourself a 10-pack for only $11 and change. I will leave a link to that in the description as well, in case anybody's looking for a 10-pack. Right now, it seems like the way to go in terms of stacking, probably generic rounds and generic bars. So if you're stacking a whole bunch of silver rounds right now, you're probably going to want a place to store them. And the cool thing about these right here is the fact that they're kind of like square shaped in a way. Obviously, when it comes to silver rounds versus silver bars, I've explained this in the past. Silver bars are, in my opinion, better for stacking simply because of the shape. The shape doesn't matter at the end of the day, but if you were to take a safe or two safes and you were to pack one completely full of little 1 ounce silver bars and you were to pack the other one completely full of little 1 ounce silver rounds, you're going to be able to fit way more silver bars in one safe rather than silver rounds, just because of the shape. And this just makes them kind of easy to stack. You can stack the tubes on top of each other, you can link them up side by side, and it all works. So if you want airtight tubes for higher premium, more collectible, more important, more expensive. Maybe they have that sentimental value behind them for whatever reason, numismatic value, whatever the case may be. If it's a coin or a round or a bar that you want to keep in as pristine condition as possible, airtights are probably the way to go. Link in the description. If you're stacking the simple, everyday government minted coins, whether they be Silver Eagles, Maple Leafs, Britannias, the list goes on, you're going to want to go with the mint tubes. They're really good, they're rock solid, they're protective, heavy duty tubes, especially when filled up. If you want to play it extra safe, you can tape them shut as well, although you probably don't need to, because it's not like the top right there just pops off. You actually had to either put your nail under it or a knife and almost pry it off. It's not that difficult, but it doesn't just pop off by accident, kind of like this one does. And then, of course, and 5-pack. And if you want a 10-pack of these right here, once again, the link will be in the description. It all depends on how you're stacking and what your goals are. Obviously, if you're a collector, these are probably the way to go. If you're stacking and you want that higher level of notoriety, if you want your coins to be recognizable, if you want them to be government minted, that way they have just more trust or more people that desire them, or whatever the case may be, you're probably going to end up with a lot of these. This is the most common one that I have. But if you're stacking for weight for the most part, and you couldn't give a crap less about whether or not it's government minted or what's on it, or who's on it, or what it says, or anything like that. Is it silver? Okay, yes, I'll take it. If you're one of those people, kind of like how I am more so nowadays, then these are probably the way to go. It all comes down to how you're stacking. It all comes down to what you're stacking and what your goals are and whatnot. So figure out which tube is right for you. Each and every one of them will be linked in the description. So yeah, those are the 3 different types of storage tubes that I personally use, and I have been personally using for years at this point. I started using airtight capsules and tubes at the very beginning, or maybe closer to the middle of 2018. I started using generic tubes shortly after, when I realized that was kind of a rookie mistake that I had made. I didn't need to put generic rounds in airtights. I started using generic tubes at that point. And then when I started getting more into Silver Eagles and Silver Maples, I started just buying empty mint tubes and filling them up on my own. Here's an empty one right here, and here is a mint tube for Canadian Maple Leafs. That's right around the time that I started getting into mint tubes. So I haven't bought any airtights since, although actually I did when it comes to the smaller one for the gold coins over there, but that was just a year or 2 ago. Either way though, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to different types of storage tubes for different types of silver, different types of gold, the coins, the rounds, the bars, do you use any of these storage tubes? Do you keep your Silver Eagles in mint tubes? Do you have any airtights for higher premium, more collectible, more rare, more expensive coins? Do you keep them as protected as possible by putting them in airtights? Or are you, for the most part, just stacking generic rounds, maybe generic bars, and you keep them in generic tubes? Cheap, generic tubes, not for ultimate protection, although it does keep them protected, but more so for organizational purposes. Again, last time I'll say this, if you need any of the links, they will all be in the description, along with all other prepping supplies, water purification units, power stations, the list goes on, as well as a whole bunch of other silver and gold supplies, anti-tarnish paper, miniature lock boxes, pretty much everything you could possibly need when it comes to supplies for your stack. Everything is linked in the description, and all of those links will be removed at the end of the month. I'm removing each and every one of them from this point moving forward, starting in April, so use them while you can. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for weekly videos. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs in a bunch of different designs. We have the limited edition Luck Has Nothing to Do With It t-shirt and hoodie, only available until St. Patrick's Day, only available for the next 2 days, so get one while you can. A portion of the proceeds are going to St. Baldrick's Foundation to help children with cancer. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold almost every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free, and every Saturday morning I post a brand new adventure vlog. There are a ton of other perks as well. I guarantee you the value exceeds the cost. VIP Club link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Normally it's 2, they bumped it up to 5 just for the next couple of days, so capitalize on that while you can. Refer 1 friend by midnight tonight, and Webull's going to give you 10 free stocks for the referral. Again, it's part of their advertising budget, and it ends at midnight, so please move fast. And then, of course, if you refer 3 friends before the end of the month, they will give you a spin on the Webull wheel, which guarantees you at least 1 free share of Apple. And you have the possibility of winning 2, 3, 5, 7, maybe even 10 free shares of Apple. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Again, if you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway. Sell them. Congratulations. Now you have the cash to go and get you some silver and gold if you want. Webull link in the description. Time is running out. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? When it comes to the Federal Reserve, when it comes to Jerome Powell, when it comes to that meeting starting today and ending tomorrow, what do you think? And I'm talking about realistically, objectively, rationally. What are you expecting? I'm not talking about like, oh, this terrible, horrible thing is going to happen because this might happen and that might happen and this might happen and that might happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being logical here. What are your honest expectations? Do you think it's going to result in a bit of a rug pull? Do you think it's going to shock the market? Or do you think we're not really going to see really any effect at all for probably months to come, a whole series of rate hikes to come? Because that's what I'm expecting, and I want to know your thoughts. And then, of course, when it comes to storing silver and gold coins, rounds, and bars, do you use different types of storage tubes? Generic tubes for generic rounds, mint tubes for government minted coins, airtights for higher premium, more collectible coins? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.